Good morning, Unity Church of the Hills, and happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers out there. Take a moment, check in, let us know how you're doing in the comments section. Say hello to all of your fellow love streamers. If you're on Facebook and you want to share this video, you can start a watch party, which is fun. We're going to start in just a moment, but in the meantime, we've got a fun video from Frank Phelan with a pretty cool program we hope you're going to like.
So the genesis of this idea was that we wanted to be able to come back into the campus and transition our way back into being inside the sanctuary and do that in sort of stages, if you will. And today's piece really was about offering up prayer right when we get into the campus. And the first thing we do after we drive in is we pull into our parking spot. So one of the pieces that I think would be wonderful is to find a way to honor the space and to set intention around the space. Kind of an anointing, if you will, of acknowledging divine presence in the space and as us there. And so the idea is to set an intention with prayer in this space, and we're calling it Ashtag parking lot prayer. And what we get to do is go to Unity Church of the Hills and go to our space or a space in the parking lot and reconsecrate that space. So here we are at the campus, and I am just super excited about this activity and hope you all are inspired to come and participate. So I talked about this being an anointing of this space, and typically coming from a Catholicism perspective, that's always been done with oil, but I'm going to suggest a different medium, and that we use sidewalk chalk to anoint our parking lot with our prayers and our intentions as a way of coming back into this space and getting to be here again, and to hold that consciousness of being here and being together and enjoying this amazing space that we have. And so I'm going to move into the actual construction of a piece. This is gonna work, but I saw it on YouTube, so it must be right.
can I serve today, sweet Spirit? How can I serve today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet Spirit? Who needs my love today, oh Lord? Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. I am so thankful today, sweet Spirit. I am so thankful today, oh Lord. Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who knows that there is one God, one power? We know we all are one with God. Speak in ways that I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go.
Good morning, happy Mother's Day, and welcome to Unity Church of the Hills. We are so grateful that you have elected to join us today. You saw Frank Phelan do some amazing things with chalk with the particular parking place that he loved. Just to give you a little advance on that, mine won't look that good. But we will be leading up to this reopening piece. I wanted to share with you that the board in its last meeting commissioned a reopening team, 2 members from the board, 2 from our staff, and 2 from the congregation. And that team is working very diligently to prepare the way to present to the board so that the board can make a decision on a date and a few of the particulars around that. But stay tuned because it will be happening before too long. Now we're going to take a moment to honor our mothers. And as these images begin to cross in front of your screen, you know, it's tradition here at Unity Church of the Hills on Mother's Day to ask at this time all of our mothers to stand. And so I realize you're in the comfort of your own home or your workplace, but I want to encourage you, if you are a mother of any ilk, to please stand right now. And if you've got family there around you, let them appreciate and adore you from right where you are. We also typically at this time would say, okay, let's find the mothers who've been mothers the longest and mothers the shortest. And we won't be going through that ritual exactly today, but I will say that I'm aware of at least one mother in our congregation, Sally Cates, who is been a mother for 69 years. And so, Sally, I realize you may have a little bit of company, some that are close, maybe a few a little older and a little younger children, but we celebrate all of our mothers so long. We also take a moment to celebrate you beautiful mothers who are mothers with very small children. We bless you. And we take this time to really acknowledge the power and the beauty of motherhood in all of its forms, whether for a short time or a long time. We also like to, at this beautiful time on Mother's Day, acknowledge all women everywhere. And so if you are a woman, young or older, please stand and let us thank you for the beautiful feminine energy that you bring forth in this world. God bless you. And now you may be seated. We also want to take a moment this morning to recognize those who are joining us for the first time on a Sunday morning. We're grateful that you're here. We want to express our gratitude, but also our love and appreciation for you. So just where you are, feel the connection with our Unity family and know that you are a part of it. God bless.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity Church of the Hills and happy Mother's Day. As I was preparing this morning for the opening prayer, I was struck early this morning that this is the first Mother's Day in my entire life that I'll be spending without my mother physically present here. She passed away back in December, and she's kind of been on my mind, obviously, this morning and kind of whispering in my ear. I know she's physically present. And I began to think of all the different roles that she played, just giving me life over the course of time. She was my protector, my teacher, my disciplinarian. We shared a love of reading together. She also introduced me to Unity churches for the very first time in the mid-90s. As we grew, she became my confidant, and at the end of the day, the very best thing that I can say about her is that she truly was my best friend in this world. So I want to dedicate this morning's opening prayer to her specifically and to all mothers out there who are wherever they are, whether your mother has already passed on and you're honoring her in that way or whether she's physically still here with you, that we take this time this morning to celebrate our mothers as we open in prayer. Living, loving Spirit, thank you so much for the divine mother energy that activates life in this universe and on this plane. All the roles that the mothers play for us during the course of our lives. Nurturers, nurses, teachers, protectors, confidants, disciplinarians when necessary. We love all of this mother energy that comes forth, and we celebrate every mother everywhere. In this time of division and social distancing, we could all turn our attention today, turn our hearts today to the one thing that unites us, the one thing in which we have all common ground, that each one of us, no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, we all have mothers. We all come from mothers. And this is a space that we can draw our attention to, draw our intention to celebrate the common ground that we have as the family of humanity, globally and locally, that we take the time today to celebrate and honor and love our mothers. And so for all of the energy that mothers bring to the world, bring to our lives personally, we say thank you, living, loving Spirit. There is no love that is greater than mother's love, and we are so, so grateful. So once again, we say thank you. And we pray in the name and the nature of Jesus the Christ. And so it is. And so we allow it to be. Amen. And now we'd like to turn our attention to today's announcements for Sunday, May 10th, 2020. We do have prayer chaplains on service, although not physically here in the sanctuary with us. The following prayer chaplains are holding sacred space for us today: Kay, LM, and Tim. They are available for voice-to-voice prayer following the service. If you do need private prayer, simply dial 512-814-5365. Leave your phone number, your name, and your prayer request. And shortly after the service, you will receive a call from one of the prayer chaplains to pray with you. And if you did tune in at the beginning and you saw Frank Phelan's video introducing Ashtag parking lot prayers, the chalk and other supplies are just outside the chapel, and you are invited to drive to the church, grab some supplies, find your own divine parking spot, and leave your prayer or intention in chalk all over, just like you saw Frank demonstrate. This is a way to anoint the space here at Unity Church of the Hills and to reconnect with these sacred grounds as we begin to move towards opening up again. We would love it if you would check in on Facebook while you are here and let everyone know that you're decorating your personal parking space, and then upload a photo of that with the hashtag parking lot prayer. Also, our InReach ministry team members are making check-in calls to say hello and to all. If you would like to sign up to receive a call from time to time, simply visit unityhills.org and click on the call directory image in our rotator. Also, if you weren't aware, we do have an online bookstore now. If you haven't had a chance to visit our online bookstore, please do so. Melissa Larson, our bookstore manager, has put together recommended reading lists, or you can search for books, puzzles, and more. To simply find that, visit bookshop.org/shop/UCOH and do that today. As we heard our good friend and dear brother Lance Lean say so often, nothing but God here. T-shirts, mugs, and bookmarks displaying this important truth were lovingly created and donated to our bookstore by a generous congregant in hopes of spreading the message and in supporting our spiritual home. These items can now be purchased with curbside delivery pickup. All you need to do is contact the church office at 512-335-4449 to make a purchase. And if you haven't already marked your calendar for tonight at 5:30, do so now. You'll want to come back and live stream the second of 3 Dinner with Celebration concerts. Tonight's program includes several songs written by members of Celebration, and the concert is offered on a love offering basis that goes to directly support our music ministry. And if you missed week 1 of Unconditional Abundance with our very own Reverend Steve Boland facilitating, and you would still like to attend, there is still time. We've recorded week 1 to anyone who registers before this coming Tuesday's second session on May 12th. You can learn more and register for this exciting event with Reverend Steve at unityhills.org or directly on the UCO app if you already have that downloaded on your phone or smart device. And also our spirit circles will be starting up again. Many begin this week, although a few have chosen a later start date. You can view all of the groups online and find one that speaks to your heart and your schedule. And you can find that at unityhills.org or once again on the UCO app. The groups will be studying the book, The Eye of the Storm, Embracing Conflict, Creating Peace by Reverend Gary Simmons. And now, I invite you to settle in for our meditation time as we bring Tammy Lorraine up here, who's going to lead us in our meditation time.
As you gently close your outer eyes, become still and arrive, breathing in and letting go, settling into your sacred heart space. And I invite you to call to mind your mother, a mother figure, or an idealized mother of your dreams. If the thought of your mother creates angst, do not let your heart be troubled. Allow the Divine Mother to be in your space, to nurture and care for you. Invite a beautiful, loving energy to swirl around you. It is soft, kind, compassionate, gentle, grace itself. Let this energy hold you. Give your worries and concerns, and allow this mother figure to kiss your fears like a mother might kiss a wounded knee, to place a spiritual Band-Aid on your troubles. And as this gentle soul whispers, all will be okay, let it speak to the inner child of your being that seeks reassurance. All will be okay. Let it be a healing balm and take the message into the deepest part of you in the silence. Let your heart feel love and peace, and radiate this loving energy out as a beautiful, divine, feminine ray of light to speak into the core of fear itself. All will be okay. As you do this, fear melts away for you, for your loved ones, and for the world. When you are ready, bring yourself back into this time and space and open your beautiful eyes.
Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches over me. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. He watches me. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches. I know He watches. I know He watches me. I see because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me.
Thank you, Roderick and John and Matt, for that beautiful, beautiful rendition. And while we're focused for a moment on a beautiful part of the celebration team and a wonderful part of our house band, I want to take a moment and send extra love to that wonderful mother figure that is Susan Heinrichs, who is recovering from shoulder surgery from 3 days ago. We understand she's making progress, and we want to see that progress be rapid and as easy and effortless as possible. We love you, Susan. We appreciate you so much. From the great Sufi mystic Rumi, on a day when the wind is perfect, the sail just needs to open, and the world is full of beauty. Today is such a day. 2 weeks ago, we began a series called The Way, the Truth, and the Life. And if you remember in the beginning, I asked you to imagine you 6 months from now, a time which is Sunday, November 8th. And I want to suggest that we revisit that experience just for a moment, not in quite as broad a term. And if it's new for you, to visit it for the first time. So if you will, close your eyes. Take a deep breath and picture yourself on Sunday morning of that day, November 8th, 2020, 6 months from today. You may see yourself seated in the sanctuary of our beautiful church or somewhere else that is meaningful to you. In this scene, your eyes are closed and you're feeling the joy of God's love, a sense of wholeness and well-being. Your body is at ease, your mind and emotions at peace, and your heart is full of gratitude for how far you've come in these 6 months, how much you've grown in consciousness and the awareness of your indwelling Christ. Just take a moment to feel this. There is a knowing that all is truly well. The world is a more loving place. Healing has broken out everywhere. Breathe deeply and smile. And when you're ready, feel yourself present in this moment and open your precious eyes. As we began this series, we used that picture and that feeling for context and encouragement to take the higher way. The higher way in living our daily lives. We focused on eternal and unchanging truths, especially in the talk last week. Those truths as guideposts on our journey. And today we focus on life. And what a perfect coincidement it is that today is life and today is Mother's Day. Of course, this is more than just about these 3 weeks or these 6 months or even moving through these very different times of crisis we find ourselves in. It's about fulfilling our purpose in these lifetimes of ours. Dr. Glenn Clark called it the soul's sincere desire. When Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life," I suggested he was not speaking of the personal I. He was calling us to aspire to Christ consciousness, to shift our paradigm from fear and judgment to love and joy. And he told us in no uncertain terms that he is constantly with us to help us achieve just that. The Apostle Paul said it this way, "Let this mind that is in Christ Jesus be in you also." I want to take some time to focus on Mother's Day again, to use this beautiful day to remind ourselves of what our love in action looks like and how available it is to us. Perhaps we can become more porous to love's presence. We'll begin first with Myrtle Fillmore. Myrtle Fillmore, the mother of unity, given only a few months to live, dying with chronic tuberculosis, was told from a very young age, "You've inherited this, and there's really very little you can do about it." She finally discovered her true lineage, a child of God, and through the power of prayer, she channeled God's love, Jesus' love, and the love of indwelling Christ to every cell of her body, every corner of her mind. And in her healing, this beautiful unity movement was born. Fast forward 109 years, and here you see Joan Howes, who would become the mother of Unity Church of the Hills, along with the father of Unity Church of the Hills, her wonderful husband, Fred. 25 years ago this month, she and Fred made their way to Unity Village to attend the graduation of Reverends Lenore and Ron Scott, our founding members. Another beautiful mother in Lenore and wonderful father figure in Ron. Another photo of an amazing mother would be that of our beautiful friend, Kate Seeley. Kate, and we'll see her picture appear here. Whoops, let's back up one. Kate Seeley, who made her transition just a little over a year ago, was one who inspired so many, not only her girls and their families, but also all of us who were part of her life. She was a World War II veteran, and Mary and I and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law had the beautiful honor of scattering some of her ashes at Omaha Beach in France this past June. Kate, we know you look in from heaven and remind us that heaven, as Jesus taught, is truly at hand. And I want you to indulge me for just a moment as I cover a couple of other mothers important in my life. Our daughter Elizabeth here, shown with her sons Ryan and Joseph. Our daughter-in-law Jennifer with her son Nicholas, and of course Mary and Steve in the background. This picture is especially meaningful to me. It is that of my mother, Jenny Faye Bolin, one who also overcame tuberculosis and became a nurse, inspired by those who had helped her. And in this week in which we honor all nurses everywhere, every when, we bring our thoughts to an individual like this. Another picture of my daughter Elizabeth, who is also a nurse, and a beautiful gift in our lives. She was inspired by my mother, her grandmother, whom she never met, but inspired by the fact that she became a nurse after difficult times, and Elizabeth chose that path as well and has spent 20 years in that wonderful profession dealing with little preemies at Children's Hospital in Atlanta. She herself, a premature birth, someone who has inspired and touched so many. And then, through the power of love, this woman, Mary Boland, and our newest grandchild, Logan. Mary is one who, as you know, is a very central part of my life and a very important part of many of your lives. She is a beautiful being whom God brought my way through the power of love. And now, a beautiful picture of her wonderful mother, Josephine. Because my mother passed at a young age, I didn't have a real chance to connect with that mother energy in the way that I had hoped to. And along came this amazing woman, a teacher, a wife, a mother, and a beautiful friend. Josephine Jennings, we bless you. This final slide is a stone with the word love. Mary had tucked it into my backpack before I made the trip out here. I found it when I got here. I'm using it in the class that I'm teaching on unconditional abundance. And I use it today to represent another great love in my life, Marguerite Simpson. She was the one who taught me as a child the power of unconditional love. Some of you have seen her picture before when I've talked about Marguerite. She came into my life when I was just a few days old and stayed there until I was an adolescent, often serving and living in our home when my mother was away with health issues many, many miles away. A woman whose deep faith saw her through the very difficult days of a segregated South. And so we can leave that image there for a moment. But what is common for all of these women is that all of them have had obstacles to overcome. For some, very major challenges to move through. But love for their children, love for others, love for their work, for humanity, brought them through. And we can allow that slide to move now back to the camera. For those who've transitioned into their new life, their love continues to heal and to bless through their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. The love of our movement's co-founder, Myrtle, dear folks like Kate and so many others, continues to heal and bless and comfort as we celebrate them all today. But how does love, in addition to the good feeling that it brings to us, how does it help in these times? Susan Heinrichs reminded me recently of an article by Dr. Joe Dispenza, a man many of us know to be a modern-day genius and one whose science I trust implicitly. Dr. Dispenza wrote this about love. He called it homeland security and boosting your immune system with love. This is the second in that series. Time and again, our research has demonstrated how after just 4 days of opening your heart, activating your fourth energy center, which you do by feeling heart-centered, elevated emotions, something extraordinary happens. The body starts naturally releasing an antibody made from your immune system, your white blood cells, called immunoglobulin A, or IgA. We have witnessed and scientifically measured how in less than 1 week we can strengthen our immune system without the use of any exogenous substance by as much as 50%. Imagine that one of your body's best natural defenses against bacteria and viruses is feeling elevated emotions such as love, gratitude, appreciation, joie de vivre, connection, compassion, and so on. The very thing that we are steeped in today, if we will only allow ourselves to deeply feel it and carry that feeling forward. He goes on to say, because the body is so objective that when you can trade survival-related emotions like fear, anger, pain, and sadness, and instead manufacture and embody elevated emotions like love, joy, and gratitude, the feelings of love and wholeness cause the body to believe it's out of danger. When this happens, despite the conditions or threats in your external environment, the body believes it's safe enough to use its energy for growth and repair. So by your intentional self-regulation of elevated emotions in your inner environment, the body believes there is no real-life threat in the outer environment. Instead, when you feel love, gratitude, and other heart-centered emotions, the body can switch from the sympathetic nervous system, the gas pedal, to the parasympathetic nervous system, the brake. Thus, the signal from outside the cell, joy, gratitude, so forth, is strengthening the inner order of your immune system. You and I, with something as simple and yet as powerful as love, can activate those centers and do tremendous things for our own bodies. Now, what happens when we do that in a family setting? What happens when we take some of those difficult times that we've moved through, some of those challenges, some of those pictures of our own mothers where things maybe weren't quite so rosy or they were downright very, very challenging or difficult? Those memories that may have stayed with us. What happens when we turn the lens of love on those situations? We bless our bodies, and we bless those souls wherever they may be with whatever they might be moving through. It is a fact that science is proving to be true. Maybe it's not so complicated. Love is the ultimate way. Jesus proved that over and over with his modeling of unconditional love. He told us and taught us to love our enemies, to love those that persecute us, to love those memories that persecute us, to love those ideas that seem to come against us, as we talked about last week, to go to that place where we are rich in that experience of feeling that unconditional love and using it to bathe our very selves in, to bathe the environment that we find ourselves in, far more powerful than any spray we might spray or dispenser that we might dispense something into our hands with. I'm not saying those things aren't important, but I'm saying that you and I, with the power of our heart, with the ability to use love as the way, makes all the difference. The ultimate truth that we touched on last week when we said God is love. This love that is always present with us. And it is there when we endeavor to connect with the very divine within us and to activate that heart in a way that is far beyond anything that we've experienced before. That power is with us. We have the beautiful piece from Matthew emblazoned above our sanctuary pews here: with God, all things are possible. And there may be a part of our minds that says, yes, I know, but this happened with my mother, or this happened with my father, or this happened with this situation so recently. And what about all the things that I see on television about this pandemic that we're moving through? Those things are changeable. But God is not. The love that lives in our hearts, that yearns to be expressed, is not. I learned recently of a study that took place in post-war England. Many, many orphans, of course, because of the war. And there was an indication from those orphanages that the infant children were dying at an unusually rapid rate. They couldn't figure it out. The children were cared for, they were clothed, they were fed, they had a comfortable bed to sleep in. And eventually they discovered that the children, those infants, needed to be held, needed to feel the touch of human skin upon their skin. This amazing teacher, the Reverend Jim Rosemergy, said, and a metaphysician would look at that a little more deeply, to understand that those children, yes, they needed to feel that love, but beyond that, those infants needed to express love. You and I are much like those little infants. It is crucial that we express love in our lives, and not just on a day that honors mothers or honors fathers, but on every day in a deeper and more powerful way. Love is the way to God. Love is the ultimate truth, and love is the ultimate life, the beauty, the wholeness that we would call forth today. I want to close from our lesson today by reading once again from Rumi. On a day when the wind is perfect, the sail just needs to open and the world is full of beauty. Today is such a day. My eyes are like the sun that makes promises, the promise of life that is always keeping, that it always keeps each morning. The living heart gives to us as does that luminous sphere, both caress the earth with great tenderness. There is a breeze that can enter the soul. The love I know plays a drum. Arms move around me. Who can contain their self before my beauty? Peace is wonderful, but ecstatic dancing is more fun and less narcissistic. Gregarious, he makes our lips. On a day when the wind is perfect, the sail just needs to open, and the love starts. Today is such a day. God bless. This is the time in our coming together when you and I have the opportunity to give. The ways will appear on your screen, but you kind of know the drill. You can text UCOH to 77977. You can go online to our webpage or to Facebook. Use the UCOH app. That's the one that I've gotten accustomed to. I do my giving early on Sunday morning. You can also mail a check into the church, and that's always beautiful too. And this is a time when we have an opportunity to express from our hearts our deep gratitude for your beautiful giving to this important work. Our beautiful board president, Frank Phelan, made a plea recently, and you have responded in such wonderful ways. He addressed that in that beautiful letter that he sent to us through the medium of electronics this past week. So thank you. And let's now, holding the energy of that powerful giving and receiving, say together our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I circulate, and I am grateful. Thank you.
love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, our loving will change the world. Share, share, share who you are and share, share, share when it's hard to share. Share, our sharing will change the world. Sing, sing, sing all together. Sing, sing, sing when it's hard to sing. Sing, our singing will change the world. Care, care, care for each other. Care, care, care for the one who needs care. Our caring will change the world. Ooh, find me here, singing for you, arms wide open with what we came to do. Wind in the trees, sing a melody true. Love everybody, let the love shine through. Everybody sing love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, our loving will change the world. Love, love, love everybody. Love, love, love when it's hard to love. Love, our loving will change the world. Our loving will change the world. Our sharing will change the world. Our singing will change the world. Our caring will change the world. Our loving will change the world.
Just to remind everyone to log back in at 5:30 this afternoon to join us for dinner with celebration, or snacks with celebration, or whatever you want to eat with celebration. This is the second part of our three-part concert series, and if you watched last weekend, we hope you enjoyed it, and log back in again today at 5:30. So once again, 5:30.
Want to take a moment to recognize our children, especially important on Mother's Day. They've been working on crafts from home this past week, and since you can't see them on the bulletin board, which is down the hall, of course, we wanted to show you what that finished craft looks like. Mama, I love you lots. How beautiful. And thank you, Linda Hancock, for all your wonderful work in bringing those crafts forward. We take a moment now to bless our children. The blessing will appear on your screen. I want you to, if you will, speak it with me, and let's speak it in such a way that any kids close by can certainly hear it, and children around the world can feel it. Together, children, youth, teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ you are. We feel that activity of love beating strong in the hearts of children around the world. We know they are with you, blessed. A couple of quick announcements, really one, no going deeper today. Now, I want you to go deeper with the ideas that I shared with you and what Celebration just sang to us. Love will change the world, and love is there for all of us. Our prayer for protection, let's say and feel it together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week. God bless.